Okay, guys. Hello. Welcome to our Thursday night team call. Black Diamond team, I am so excited. We have an incredible guest for you tonight. I'm going to tell you what, this woman inspires the socks off of me. I love her so much. Not only is she the original rap girl, literally the first person ever here in the United States to try the rap, but she has just paved the way, and she knows exactly what we're all going through because she has walked the walk. So she doesn't just talk the talk, she's walked the walk and been there in the trenches. She's still in the trenches with us. So I would love to introduce you to my friend, the Chief Networking Officer, Pam Sowder. Hey,
I'm over here dropping everything. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Hi, everyone. It's great to be on with you too. Wow, we had such a great weekend. It's hard to come off that high of being in Nashville. Thank y'all for doing that. It was just such a perfect weekend.
It was so fun.
All right, I'm trying to get my light right. I had it right, and I don't know what happened. So can you see me okay?
I can see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, when we think about doing Zooms together, and you've got a lot of people on your pages here, I just kind of scrolled through. We always want to provide the best, most possible information. And I find that each team has their own unique presence within It Works and their own unique way of just being who they are. And what I see with you, with the two of you, is you pour so much heart and soul into your team, but you personally go through a lot. And you're so transparent with that, and I love that. And Chad, I love what you're doing with the guys. I know that's work, man. That is work, getting in there and dealing with those guys. But thank you for that too. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now I know. Did you ask your team some questions?
Well, we didn't have any specific questions tonight, Pam.
Okay.
We were talking to them, and we wanted just to kind of start off with, just you sharing your story. So many new people coming all the time, and this might be the first time some of them ever seen you. So, just whatever part of your story you feel like sharing, and then we just wanted to kind of build on the 4 different areas that I wrote down here.
Okay. All right. Well, my story is very similar to all of yours. I just want it more for my family. Dave and I got married in 1980. We had our first child in 84. Kay was born in 87. And when Adam came along, my whole world went upside down because I had a career that was just booming. I was selling IBM computers in the 80s. I mean, they just came to market, and it was just a frenzy. Fun time because we're all learning that technology together. They're very expensive. I had great commissions based off that. I was full commission, no salary. I mean, it was just like, bring it on. So the more I worked, the more money we earned. And when I left that job, after Kay was born, we made a business decision in our family for me to be that stay-at-home mom. And, I had 7 years of just living the dream of being home with the kids, but then there's that tightness around your neck when the bills come around. Your husband's doing the best he can. Dave is doing all he can to provide for us, but stuff happens. I mean, you need a new car, the washing machine breaks down. It seemed like as soon as I left work, everything started falling apart. But we persevered. We went through it. Was living the dream. And Dave started saying the job word. You really need to get one, Pam. And when he was talking like that, the kids were young. I mean, they're 7 and 10. That's little. I'm not thinking about college. I'm thinking about, can I get them through junior high? And so, those are the thoughts going through my mind. And they're starting to play sports. Adam is really into music. That's very expensive. He was a percussionist, so he had to have this big drum kit. Kay was our athlete and our dancer. And, if you got a daughter dancing, that's not one costume. They want you to buy 5, and they're not cheap. So Dave, was smart. He said, we don't want to go into debt here. We need some extra money. So I just started looking around, and network marketing came to me through one of his clients, one of his best customers. I was not at all interested. I'm like, what? This sounds hooey. Why are you doing it? You're a millionaire. And what? He says it's an opportunity. And I'm like, wow, it's an opportunity. Okay. I didn't know millionaires looked for opportunity. I'd never been a millionaire. I didn't know you looked outside of being a millionaire for opportunities. And my brain never thought about stuff like that. So because of him and his, like, he never relented. Called me all the time. You're going. It's on a Tuesday night. They're going to be there every Tuesday. I'm going to keep calling you until you go. I'm like, oh my God, he's so persistent. Dave, we got to go. He's your best customer. We just got to go. So we went. We listened. When they got to the money page, when you get a few who get a few who get a few, the light bulbs just started bouncing off me. I mean, I sat bolt upright in my chair. I'm like you, Chad. I see the money. A lot of men I'm more wired that way. It's like, show me the money. That's why I have a show me the money call. I just saw that the potential. Dave's more relaxed in finances. He makes sure we don't get in debt, but he's like, we're good, but we're not that great. But I'm like, let's go make it. We're all different. We're all wired differently. So I saw a huge opportunity for us. But it took me a couple months to really decide if I wanted to go down pursue that, because I go all in when I do something. And then I went in, did nothing for 6 solid months. So if there's some people on your team that you're like, when are they ever going to start? You see that they're personable, they have friends, they can talk well, they can write beautiful posts. What's the deal? Why haven't they started? It's fear. It's just bold fear. It is fear that is paralyzing. And I have been there. And one of the reasons I can coach all of you in so many different aspects of this business is I've been through everything that you've ever gone through, probably a lot more than you realize. And that's how I can come out of it and go, wow, that wasn't fun. Let's see if we can get somebody through this quicker than getting all bruised and beat up here. So 6 months, nothing, not one customer, not one distributor. And I go to a meeting like a one team, and I totally get my fire lit. And the gentleman that spoke there was just a country guy from Kentucky, making a whole lot of money. And he was a former teacher like me, and it just spoke to my heart. And he, pretty much called me out that night to get over myself. And I did. I woke up the next day, and we've all seen this happen when it finally clicks, when it finally is like, enough is enough. I've got to go do this. It's not going to be done for me. No, people aren't coming to me. They don't even know I'm in. I hadn't told anybody. I mean, it's like, I got to get out there. And when I finally got over the fact that I was nervous about, could I answer questions? Could I like take the whispering that I knew that would go on? Why is she doing that? That's network marketing. What is that? I was worried about what my friends thought, my family thought, my neighbors. And when I finally realized they're not paying my bills, and we've heard that before from so many people, I went all in. I couldn't sleep that night because I was ready to start that night. And the next morning I got up and I hit the ground running. And within 6 months, I had a comma and 2 digits to the left of my check. And that's starting with nothing.
Wow.
I mean, no one gave me a rep. No one gave me a customer. No one gave me anything. And I'm so thankful for that, because I didn't think that you were supposed to do that. So I didn't give anybody away either. And I built a tremendous team of everybody working. And I was with that company 6.5 years, made a ton of friends. And through friends, one in particular, I would train his team. He would train mine. He lived an hour away, discovered this product, this crazy wrap. And when I tried it and it worked for me, I knew if I could just get in your living room, if I could get in the bathroom with you, if I could get anywhere with you and put it on and you had that experience and it worked, then we game on. We had a product that no one had ever heard of, no one had ever seen. Still to this day, I go out every day and I ask, and people are baffled by it. They might have seen it, they saw it scroll through, they don't think it's real. Does that really work? I want it. I mean, I still can blow people away, and this is almost 17 years into this, and we're coming up on that anniversary, and I love that. I love that because if you're not unique and different, then you're like everyone else, and it's boring. And so we've got to have that dangling carrot that makes people question if you're insane or not. And I like that. And we all get wigged out if we hear this. Well, what's that? Just like the coffee. We're getting all these things on the coffee. The coffee works, or we wouldn't have it. Yep. You know, the coffee's going to help you break your fast. It's going to help you take that fast longer. And I'm excited about it because once again, we're not going to have you. We're not asking you to change a whole lot. We're baby stepping you into this, and it's going to synergize with our products. Let's face it, if you're losing weight, you need to look good while you're losing weight. I've seen people lose with that lap band surgery and other things. That's their choice if they want to do that, but they're missing nutrients. They're missing things in their skin, the elasticity because of the weight loss that's so dramatic and so quick. And we can help you all along the way with that. I love who we are. And so we find the product. Mark and I get together. We start It Works in March of 2001. And for 5 years, it was all out. I felt like I was in the military, Chad. It was like a battle. It was like a field battle. And it was every day just going in somebody's house, every day wrapping somebody, because we didn't have social media. We didn't have camera phones. We had to be in the trenches, basically, just working this day in and day out. And it took us 5 years to get our first diamond. 5 years. And then she quit because it was just too much for her. The title just blew her away. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're our first one. And then another one came and another one came. And it's like once you break that first hurdle, I mean, we're like, is this comp plan too hard? Is that why they can't do it? It wasn't that at all. It was just our belief in that somebody could possibly get there. And then I remember we had 2 ambassador pictures on our wall. 2. And I'm like, Mark, if we want to go where we want to go, this wall needs to be full of pictures, full. And he goes, well, I don't know if that many people can actually do that. I said, oh, they're going to do it. We're going to make that happen. So there you are. You're on our wall. You're on our wall.
It's so exciting. I love being a part of this company. And I think I love it that much more just knowing the history and knowing that you guys are not asking us to do anything that you haven't done, and that you've physically, even before It Works, been out in the trenches, and you know what it's like to be us in the field. And so you understand.
I know that's what makes us so unique. You know, somebody was talking about this just the other day about, Melody. She was on a Zoom, and she said she went to a leadership training, and the guy said, if you've got this, and then if you've got a system for your people to follow, if you've got a system for your people to follow, then by corporate, because we had, in my first company I was with, we had systems, but it'd be like you had a system, then somebody else had a system, and then somebody else had a system. And so half your team's over here doing this, the other half's over here doing this, and it's just mass confusion. But we've got the steps to success. And then if you've got a baby step to the big money, which is Ruby, and does that step can you build that step through other people and get to the top? Well, that's Ruby. Rubies create emeralds, emeralds and rubies create diamonds, and so on, all the way up through ambassador. And then the third thing is, does the company provide training? Oh my gosh, off the charts. So, then that allows you the opportunity, each one of you. And once you understand this, and I think this is the biggest thing is, we get in our own way. We get in and we try to recreate everything. We try to add a step to the steps. We don't need another step. We got 3 and they work. Or we try to add in all of this extra training when your job as a leader or up and comer is to point people in the direction of where they can find answers. That's your job, so that you can be free to put in brand new people, because that's what you get paid for. The freedom is there to start somebody new, start them through the process of the steps, get them into the E-suite to be functional on their own, and then allow those rubies to start to build so that you can go ruby, emerald, diamond, all the way up to ambassador. And that's what we have for you. And that's because we are field people. We're like, we need a system in place. We need that newbie to be able to feel like they can go executive, they can go ruby with a minimal amount of people, minimal amount of volume. And then there's the wrap cash. There's that too. There's fast start bonus. There's that $100. And I love what we've got coming. You're going to absolutely love it because, we've got keto coffee, but let's bring in some more money, and let's, bring in more volume and get people doing what we do best, which is bringing in new customers, bringing in new distributors. So we free you up on all of that.
I love that. And so we've got a lot of brand new people that haven't been in very long, maybe a few months, and they just haven't quite, they may not even really know why they're here, because a lot of them came in on the $9.99. They just came in and they haven't quite found why they're passionate about this. And then we've got others that have been in for a while and they've lost their passion. Yeah. So what would you say to those people?
I would say get inspired, people. Come on. I mean, seriously, look what you have your hands on. Have you read the compensation plan? And if you don't understand it, get your spouse to read it, because they'll get turned on and join. I mean, why are we here? We are here. We don't do anything other than to make us happy. We just want to be happy. That's what we want to be. Everything we do because we think it's going to make us feel better. That's why we do everything that we do. We drink coffee because it's going to make us feel better. We rap because it's going to make us feel better. We make money because it's going to make us feel better. We want the freedom. We want the opportunity. And so some of us are just sitting here like, why am I even on the Zoom? Who is this person? And, I know that. I totally get that. I wondered that too. And I know how that feels. It's like, why did I join? And because at the moment I saw, if you get a few who get a few who get a few, it lit my fire, but it was just a small fire, and it extinguished with the fear. The fear took the fire out. It took me going into a meeting like a one team, one mission. Now we're having one on a Zoom to start to get a bigger picture and to start to realize that maybe this is possible for me. Maybe this is, because I'll tell you, every single one of you, in the back of your mind, maybe not even in the front of it, but in the back, you want more. You don't like your job. You don't want to go there every day. You miss your kids. You're missing out on opportunities to be with them. Your boss doesn't appreciate you the way that you feel he should or she should. You don't have any time with your spouse. You're not making any money, and you're broke, and you're in debt. And you could be any or all of those things, or just one, but it's enough to say, I've had enough. I just want more. And we're afraid to say that. We're actually fearful of that, because then I'm putting my heart out there. That's a dream. What if it doesn't work? What if I tell people and it doesn't work? The only reason it won't is if you don't get in and learn the necessary skills, which are very small skills, baby step those skills along the way, and it will start to work for you. You're going to find people that are going to go to work. You're going to find people that want this as much as you, if not more. Do you know we have people that have millions of dollars in volume that are under them, but they quit? They took themselves out, and we're like, oh my God, I can see the whole entire It Works organization. And there's a lot of them. And they gave up, or they put one person in and that person took off. So come on, it's time to play. And if you look at this like, I'm going to give it what I have. I'm going to give it as much as I can. If that's an hour a day, 30 minutes a day, you know, get with whoever brought you in. And if they can't guide you, go upline and find somebody that can. But go into your e-suite. That's given to you. It's in your back office. Go in there and pull off the compensation plan. Look at it. It will not make sense to you, but some of it will. Pull off a steps to success and pull off that Ruby chart. Get those things out in front of you. Put your name on the top of that Ruby chart, because that's your guideline. And if you haven't done that, do it, because that guides you. And there's something magical about that. When you bring that out, you put your name on it, and it starts to fill up, because you start to talk to people, you start to ask people. They're not going to join you if you don't ask them. Postings is not asking. So we just got to decide if we're willing to put our name out there. Are we willing to do that? Are we willing to risk at getting a no? I have never seen anybody that has died from that yet. Ever. I get them still all the time. I get that weird look. I know though. See, I know that it works. And I know we've got more millionaires that have come up this year than ever before. So yes, before you can become a millionaire, you've got to become a hundredaire. So what we want to do is start making $100 here, $100 there, and start believing, start working towards that 1,000 and start to multiply that. But it doesn't start unless you do. So you've just got to decide. It is a decision. It's a choice. Get up early in the morning. That's what you do. You get up earlier. Why? Because you're jazzed. You can't help but get up. It's like you don't even need the alarm. You jump up. You're ready. Let's call people at 6:30 in the morning. That gets their interest. And act like you've got that gold mine in the back of your yard, because that's what you have. And these are things I tell myself all the time. I had lunch with my son today, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Wonder Woman. Every morning I stand in front of the mirror, I do my thing. I'm like, let's go. Let's make this thing happen. I still do that every single day. It's just crazy, I know. But I've got to talk to myself in the right way, because I want this company to go beyond $1 billion, and then beyond 2 and beyond 3. So I say, let's get over ourselves and go have some fun.
I love that.
That's what I'm saying.
I love that. I love it. Okay, so what would you say to the person that's on here that's maybe been in a while and they're in a funk?
Yeah.
Or they don't feel worthy. Like, what would you say to them?
All right, there's really two separate things, but they do intertwine. Get out of it. Nobody's going to get you out of it. Quit blaming everyone. Quit blaming your team. Look, you sit down. If you're in a funk, go back and think about, well, when did I stop having fun? That, it's just like a marriage. I've been married a long time. When Dave and I, when there's a funk in our marriage, we stopped having fun. We stopped dating. We stopped going out. We stopped, which is rare, but we've been there. We have been there a couple of times. And if you're not careful, that'll last for years. And you'll wake up one day and go, well, what was that all about? You don't want to do that with It Works. Definitely don't want to do it with your marriage. So what do? No one's going to, you're waiting for your team to inspire you. They're not going to inspire you. You got to inspire you. People go, how do I motivate my team? You wouldn't ask that if you were motivated. It comes back to you. When you're rocking and rolling, you're not worried about who fell off. You're not worried about who quit. You're not worried about so-and-so took 3 people. Well, you're not even aware of that because you're over here. You're moving. We don't sit around our conference table talking about, I know they think we do, but we don't. We don't talk about those that left. We don't have time for that. We're talking about Jeree and Chad and what we can do to help Jeree and Chad double their check. They're still here. They're all in. How can we get this company going to where we want it to go? What's our next step? So what's your next step? Ask yourself that. Do I want to stay? It's not comfortable being uncomfortable. It's the worst feeling. You feel bad because there's so much more in you. There's so much more in you. You know that you're capable. You've just gotten stuck. And when you get there, all these thoughts start coming in. They get you more stuck. And then somebody shows up and tells you what you're thinking. And you pay attention to that. You buy into that. It's just not true. So decide. No more. I'm going here. I'm going triple diamond. Daggone it. Let me tell you, you want to be triple diamond by conference. Because something special is going to be there for triples and above. You don't want to miss that. So you want to be triple diamond and above for conference. You've got time. That's February. Jeree and Chad know how to take you there. They're not going to give you people, but they know exactly how to take you there. So you just got to decide, I am no longer, why am I even in a funk? What's wrong? Nothing. We got coffee. Drink it. We've got wraps. Put it on. I mean, we got a marketing plan that works. There's nothing wrong with that works. I tell you what, people just sit down. That's all it is. They just sit down. Jeree, you have sat down before?
Absolutely.
That's when you start looking around going, come on, people. But they're not coming with you. You've sat down. They sit down. I don't even know how they know. It's almost like they know when you go to the bathroom. She must be in the bathroom. They can tell because the energy's not there. The energies on the pages are not there. The spark is left. How do you get a spark back? By movement, by emotion, by motion, by pulling up that next chart. Pull out that, well, everybody's quit. No, they haven't. You quit. You quit. So you put your name back on it. You contact those that you care about and you say, you know what? I apologize. I sat down. Now I'm going. Let's go together. I love working with you. And if they're not willing, then find new blood. New blood is the answer to everything. It's like a transfusion. It jazzes you. It juices you. It gets you to that next level. So you need to be sponsoring. You need to be bringing in new customers. You need to be out there with your hair on fire. I can't do that for you. Jeree and Chad can't do that for you. Only you can do that. You know what I learned about my husband? I don't have to make him happy. Pressure off. I mean, when I realized that, my dad told me that. That's not your job. Your job is to be happy. That's your job. You're the only one that you can control. And if you're happy, he's going to be happy. And if he's not, he's going to be over there miserable, but you're still happy. That's just it. You get happy, get excited, get exuberant, get up, take that emotion and turn it into motion and start. And then guess what happens? A text message comes through out of the blue. Somebody that was dead in the water for 2 years calls, I'm ready. Somebody that said no 10 times, I saw the coffee, I'm in. I promise you, Facebook me, you tell me, that just happened because they can feel it. It's like the butterfly effect.
Yep.
It's like you create your own butterfly effect. It happens every single time.
I
so
love
get
that.
it back to talk. Go. Let's go.
So recently, Pam, I was very transparent with my team because I got into a different kind of funk, but where I was just not using the products. Like I wasn't using them consistently. And I remember like 6 weeks ago-ish, maybe 5.5 weeks ago, I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, why am I not passionate about signing loyals. And like, why am I not passionate about it? And then I'm like, maybe it's because I'm not using the products that I know work. So I started using them, and I'm down almost 15 pounds in 6 weeks by changing nothing else but using our supplements consistently. And I've had so much fire and passion again. And then with the coffee, it's just everything else. But product to the product, right? Like, is that not a huge way to make your business?
Oh my gosh, Jeree, it's everything, because that's what we market. You know, we got to get excited about the product. I'm wrapped right now on my tummy.
I love it.
People go, gosh, your skin is amazing. I said, well, I've got these products. I'm like, they work. I tell them about everything. What else would you use on your face but cleanser? There's nothing else out there. Defining gel every day on your body. Vital, Confiance, we all need it. Just Fat Fighter. I mean, everything. Greens to live on. Greens. I mean, I would just like, when I found the wrap, I said, I'll take a semi down to Mexico. I got to have this. I mean, I want it. That's how I feel. And I feel responsible, as you should. You have been given a gift with this product. You should feel responsible to get it to market. It is not by accident that you're on this Zoom. It's not by accident. You've been asking for more. You've been asking for, you're all sitting there praying to God. He's like, I got it. It's right here. You're on the Zoom. You've got it. It's here. Work it. It's not like, it's like you're sitting around going, thinking it's just going to come to you. It's already given to you. So the bolder the action, now I'm not talking about grinding. That's not what I'm talking about. Grinding is no fun. Getting in the grind, and it hurts. It's excruciating. It's like, why am I doing this? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about inspired action. When you get that going, that is the butterfly effect of positivity. That's what you want. So Pam, how do I get that? You wrap yourself. Take the greens. Change somebody's life through the product. Wrap somebody. Get $25 cash and show people that filled up your gas tank. Show them that it bought your kids a pair of shoes. Show them that it bought diapers. That's what people are after. 99% of our people are after $300 to $500 a month. Yep. That's all they can see in the beginning. That is life-changing for them. I had somebody tell me today they had $37.24 in their checking account. That's sad. I'm like, go sell a wrap. Go sell a wrap. You got wraps on your, what is wrong? Come on. It's right here. So the action, it wants to be inspiring. For you, it's just like, I can't get out of here fast enough. I got to go tell somebody. And it's because you had results. It's because it's working for you. If the business is not working for you yet, because you're just brand new, wrap. Start to feel better with the greens. Start to talk about that. Jeree and Chad just didn't wake up one day and they're ambassador. They worked for it. So the action, if you want $300 a month, that action is very different than somebody that wants $1,000.
Right.
There's a small amount of action. If you want $1,000, you're going to have more action going on. That's common sense. This is not dream wishland here. This is a business. This is a business that each one of you have an ownership in. You're got a willable, sellable business. That's called a business in my book. I mean, it might have just cost you $9.99 or $99. I had somebody one time when it was $299, and I told him $200. I said $299. He thought I meant $299,000. Because of how excited I was about the opportunity, and he was willing to invest it. Wow. Now that's somebody walking around with passion, their hair on fire, and knowing the opportunity that they have. That's how you should go out, knowing that I could become a millionaire with this. But first, I got to get $100. I need $25 wrap cash. So that's how we have to start. But that action is inspired action. It's not grinding. It shouldn't hurt. It shouldn't be painful. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm not having any fun. It should be full on, like you're like out there going, wow, I just met somebody and they're going to come in, and I'm going to meet somebody else and they're going to come in, and I've got this person over here. And even though they haven't signed up yet, you just have a feeling that it's going to happen. I've watched people sit on their butt with this for 2 years doing nothing. Then the rug was pulled out from under them, and they went, wait a minute, I have this kit over here. I think I could maybe go, this might work for me. And they go all in crazy, and within a year they're like double digits to the left of that comma. And what was different? Nothing but them. So just them. Yeah.
You know, Pam, I feel like I've got like a little advantage over a lot of people because it works as my fifth company. So when I look at It Works, I see that it's an anomaly. You know, I see all the little one percenters. I see that, you know, like an old, maybe a service-based company where you can provide a service that there's lots of competition with versus a product that makes you look better and makes you feel better. And I remember early on just, you know, Dree, I'd kind of be the guy doing the presentation, and Dree go off into the room with 3-4 girls, and I'd just hear him back there doing the after pictures and just screaming, you know, and hollering and crying. And I'm like, what in the heck's going on here? And people coming out that were so shy, and they join as a distributor, and that next day they go out and they do something amazing. Or the brand new distributor that signs up without trying a product, and you can't get them to do anything, and they put that first wrap on, and then they're on fire. So I love that we have that. But so the products are obviously amazing, but what I want you to share here for maybe the next couple minutes is when it comes to the company and, you know, specifically the integrity of Mark and Cindy and just the core team that you guys have there. Because I know there's been other companies will go public and it becomes all about the bottom line, and they sit in the conference room like you guys thinking, how can we have, you know, more profits for the company? And you guys are in there thinking, how can we create more people that are able to bring their husbands home, more diamonds and above, more ambassadors? So you kind of speak to that for a couple minutes, just how our company is different and how special It Works is and the people who are around.
You know, it really brought it home to me. We're at the DSN. This is like our award ceremony. You know, we go every April. It's in Dallas, Texas. It's the top 100 companies in our industry. You know, you've got the old dogs there. You've got 50-year-old companies, Amway, Mary Kay, Tupperware, Avon. I mean, billion-dollar companies are in that room represented. They come every year. And we remember when we weren't in the top 100, Mark went there first and stood in the back of the room and was like, I don't want to be back here anymore. You know, we're going. And, you know, he came back from that with such new perspective. And I remember that it was like he was different. It's like he went to one team and got on fire. And he realized we can change more lives. And it's always about that. And people don't believe me. They think it's just a cliche. It's something that we just speak about and just throw out there because it sounds good. But you can tell that that is the truth. I mean, when you look at our gives back, when you look at, I mean, he gets tearful. He's like, when someone actually leaves, he's just hurt by that. He's like, wow, I thought they were family. You know, what happened here? And he wants to try to, you know, understand that maybe we needed this, and maybe just like you all do, just like you do. And then we go, Mark, they're just not the fit for the company. That, you know, it's just that's what they felt. They felt that for some reason, and they're gone. And it's going to, you know, at one day you're going to see it. You're going to see the bigger picture of that. And so what we've decided is to focus on who is here, who really is here, who we can love on, who wants to be a part of our big growing family. And that's how we feel. I mean, it's a family-owned company. Our children are on board. I mean, our grandchildren, our grandchildren will be a part of It Works. That's the kind of legacy that we want to build. It's beyond us getting another pair of shoes or a new car. It's way beyond that. Now, in the beginning, you're focused on eating and living, and you're focused on being able to show that it's possible. That's what you're focused on in the beginning. So yes, we were out to get the numbers right. We were out to be able to pay ourselves after 3 years of not paying ourselves. And I think don't think a lot of people understand that. We just didn't, we used Dave's money, which is our money together collectively as a family, to pay my expenses. And I would sleep on people's couches. And or if they had a room, I'd stay in their room because we couldn't afford a hotel room. And I remember we were like, well, let's have this here because we just can't afford to have it over here. And we would have Christmas parties at Mark and Cindy's house. And Cindy would be making food. I'd be in there with her cutting up the cheese. I mean, this is what we did. Our first diamond event, I think 12 people were there. And we had a margarita machine, and we're like, oh, this is so fun. and that's how your business is. So we've been through it, guys. I mean, we've been through it. Like, are we going to make it? Doug is like, you can't keep pouring money into this. It's just, you just can't. And we're like, Doug, give me 6 months. Just give me 6 months. I'll get out here. I'll make it happen. And that's when the fire got really lit up under me. And I just knew we've got to do this. We had one customer service rep. One. Cindy worked in the shipping department. That we cleaned our own toilets, guys. I mean, it's just, our closet was our warehouse. And then in the warehouse, we had a ping pong table and a basketball hoop because we weren't busy. We could, play. And then it got so that all left, and we got so momentum came. Jerry and Chad came in, and then that was it. We had to hire more people. So, it's like, this is grassroots here. This is an American dream story. Dave and I just sat down last week with our financial planner, our 2 bankers, and our attorney. And it was very moving to sit down with them. And we just go in like, Pam and Dave. We just sit down and we're like, they're all staring at us, and we're, what's going on? They said, well, we just been through everything together, and we're just mapping out the next couple of years, and this is what, and so I'm just sitting there going, wow, this is big time. This is big time. And because I'm so involved in the work and the love of the work, I don't think about that. That's how you should be. So loving the work and loving that everything else just takes care of itself. And I always tell people, they're so worried about their taxes. I hope you pay $1 million in taxes, because that's a small amount in the scheme of things. And you'll have people that can take care of you, good people that are great at that. And I can't believe I can even say that. I just can't believe I can even say that. So we are the American dream company, and now global company. And so, we're at that DSN meeting, and I'm hearing these CEOs, Chad, in answer to your question on one aspect of it. One CEO said, we don't even want to have a home office because we don't like people. Oh. And we're going, you don't like people? But you have people. You have to have the people. Why? What do you mean you don't like people? And we were blown away by that. And so hearing some of those things just makes you understand that, yeah, there are companies out there that just don't have our heart. They just don't have our heart. And they build a company for a couple of years. Just go research them. Research their background. They build a company for a couple of years, then they sell it. They'll go roll that money into something else, and they'll sell it. We haven't done that. We could have. We could have. I mean, we could have a long time ago. And we want this to be family owned. We could go and list it on the stock exchange. It would be, with our revenue, our growth, astronomical. It would be crazy. Sometimes I think about it. Sometimes I think about it. I'm like, wow, that would be like a lot of money. But what would I do? I love this. I just love this. I get up every day. Here, I'm on a Zoom. It's what, Thursday night, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was on 2 last night and 2 the night before, and then I work all day. But I'm not working, y'all. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, so what you love, and you're walking right in your strengths and in your passion.
Yeah.
And you just love it.
Yeah. And y'all all have the same opportunity. Every single one of you can build the company that we have now under you. You can build this entire company of volume right now under you. So don't think that that's not possible, because it is possible.
So Pam, the evidence is there. So I want to kind of go to this question. So, back when I was in these other companies, I go to the big seminars, and it always seemed like the people who I would see that were having success had like that X factor. They either all looked like they came off a GQ magazine, or they're just so well spoken. I'm thinking they have to be they're probably a motivational speaker. They have some kind of crazy skill set. And in January 2013, Jeree and I come to our first It Works conference.
Yeah.
I see people up there, shaking with the microphone. I see people up there who haven't hit their desired weight yet, in a weight loss company, and they're at the top. And I just remember seeing Shelby and Tyson Bowman and hearing their story. And he's like, I went to deploy, and when I came home, my wife had bought me a new truck and paid it off, and I had no clue what she was doing. And they're early 20s. And I'm looking at this going, oh my gosh, these are truly average people who are having these crazy, insane results. And I know now, if we were to, bring every single ambassador on here and tell every story, there would be people on this Zoom right now would say, I'm just as smart as they are. I'm just as good looking as they are. I'm just as skilled as they are. Because in It Works, we have 21, 22-year-old ambassadors all the way up to 60, mid 60s, and I don't know, probably older than that ambassadors, and everybody in between. So I know Mark said this recently. So another CEO had asked him, how to see that in somebody. So for you, being in the industry a long time, knowing all the ambassadors, their families and the insides and outs, and being on calls and just seeing the wide, diverse group, what is it inside someone? What are the things someone needs to get to actually bridge that gap between what they want in life and where they are right now? Like, I know there's some grit in there, there's some discipline in there, there's some things in there, but in your experience, what have you seen? Because I know reds and blues and yellows and greens, they can all be ambassadors, and It Works.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with out here. Nothing to do with the past. Nothing to do with any skill set. We've proven that. As far as have I ever networked before, because it's all organic. Ours is all organic. Most people aren't like you, Chad. They have never been in network marketing before. And there's some like you and Tiffany Pasek who have, and said, I'm never doing it again because I've been burnt and hurt so much. So it's nothing out there. So this is the biggest thing I want everyone to understand. It's what's in here.
Yes.
It's what's in here. And so sometimes when I'm talking to somebody, I can see it. I can sense it. And it's just probably no one else can. Maybe a handful can. Maybe one other can. But I can sense it. Because they don't talk. They're not the ones talking. It's their eyes. And they've had it. And they're going for it. It's like, it's done. I've had it. I'm not going back there anymore. That's I'm not going back. I'm here. And they're already there. They're already there. They're already there. They just got to close the gap. So it's just the work takes place. It's the action, but the action is so emotional and so inspired and so focused. They're not looking around. They're not comparing themselves. They're not judging themselves. They're not thinking it's not going to happen. Doesn't mean that they don't have obstacles, hurdles that they have to break through, but they do it. I have been there. I have been there. It didn't happen for me right away. It happened for me about the 5th year in, when the frustration was enough, at an all-time high of me just being tired of second guessing my capabilities, the product, the opportunity. I just like had it. I'm like, we got it all. We are great people. We have the comp plan. We have the product. Why are you second guessing this? Because I'm listening to everything out here, everything that's out here. And what's going on up here? Well, why did you get the product? Well, why do you think you can do that? And I'm listening to my own thoughts that are not directing me. But one day that all ended, and I had it in my eyes. And all of a sudden, it's like people were coming up to me. What do you got? What do you do? And I'm telling you, it is the most incredible decision. You know, in the Bible, it says, when two can come together as one. I don't know the exact verse. Do y'all? I can't. I know it. I just can't place it right now. Do you know what I've read that the two are? You and you. Your conscious mind and your subconscious mind come together and you make a decision. And that is your conscious mind, which is that chatterbox that tells you can't do anything. And then the God within you says, let's go. Come on. I'm ready. You were made for more. You're worth it. And when they fuse, and that's what happens, when you finally say, I'm ready, and your spirit wakes up and says, let's do it. I've been so bored. I've been so sick of being back here with you. I'm ready. And then it all just like, it's like you just, whatever, you got energy that's out of control. People go to me all the time, how do you have all this energy? I'm like, I don't know. It's just like, I'm happy. It just comes. It's just here. I'm just never, I rarely get tired. I love what I do. And like they say, if you love what you do, you never work another day in your life. And that's just how I feel. And, you know, Dave used to say, if you could just get another Pam, if you could just get another Pam. And I listened to that for a long time. And I would say that if I could just get another Pam. And then I realized I just need to be the best Pam, the very best Pam, and other Pams will come. They will come. And that's what happens. And so it's just something, Chad, that you can sense in someone. And everybody goes, well, how do I get it? How do I get that? That is something that you need to really think about. You need to get very quiet, and you need to come within your own mind and make that line in the sand and say, no more. I'm not staying back here anymore. I'm jumping. I am all in. No matter what the spouse says, no matter what your mama says, no matter what your daddy says, no matter what your best friends say, no matter what your upline says or your downline says, you're in. You're all in. I'm there. I'm Black Diamond. I saw Stephanie Dunn is the perfect example of this. Look at her eyes. Mm-hmm. Look at her eyes. She's so there. Mark too. Mark's already beyond $1 billion. That's why I love hanging out with Mark. And who you hanging out with? You got to really think about that. Chad, you and Jeree and I had a big conversation on this one day. And you just don't come around me saying that stuff, that other stuff. I can't allow that in my spirit because I'm here, and it doesn't come very often. Even my own family, I'm like, only text me when it's good. You know, now if there's something's going down that's happened, now that's not negative, that's real, then I'll, give me a phone call. Outside of that, I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. So, if people come to you and want to rant, give them 30 seconds and then say, are you ready to do something about it? Because the more you rant on that, the more you blame and become a victim on that, the more comes into your life. So we want to give you the respect that you deserve to rant, but that's it. Let's go do something about it. And what does that mean? Get up and go wrap somebody. Go have a wrap party. Go get the product on somebody. Chad, when you were talking about Herongeria, you just lit up like a tree. And that's one thing we're not doing enough of, is actually getting out into the marketplace and letting people sample the products, letting people try the wrap, because now we got the coffee they can try, because that builds confidence. That builds confidence in you. When you're speaking, you're hearing that, and that's going back into you and building your belief. And if you're not out talking about it, your chatterbox is going, and it's going in the wrong direction, not the right direction. So it's like we're almost up just telling a story over and over and over and over again, and we're wondering is this really real? Well, yeah, you're just talking about what's happening, what's going to happen, and it just starts to unfold. So
I heard recently
that
I heard recently that if you're not moving forward on something, basically you go into default mode. It's kind of the idea. If you're not working on your marriage, by default, you're working on your divorce. If you're not working on your health, like Dr. Don says, your health's going to change. If you're not working on it getting better, it's automatically getting worse. And I just think that way with our belief. If we're not working on our belief and strengthening our belief, then we're letting the other stuff seep in, and we're starting to fall backwards. So I know we've only got a couple more minutes here, but speak, Pam, to the future of It Works. We've got history behind us. We've got a strong 16 years. First few were really, really tough, while you guys were the pioneers and going where no one had gone before and had the butt sticker, right? And figured it all out.
Yeah, had it all. We have to bring that out, anniversary edition.
I think Tina has it in a vault somewhere in her house that she shows us once in a while.
The famous butt, yes.
So we've gone through all this stuff, and we're here where we are now. So just share with everybody where we're going. What you see.
We are, I love where we're going. We're going to open up a couple more countries. So that's, they're over in France right now having their first green carpet. Everybody's so excited. Everyone over there is tied to somebody back here in the States. That just in any country, it starts here. So now other countries will sign people up in other countries, but it still always funnels back to the U.S. And I love that. I love that. We've done so much in North America. It's incredible what we've done here. But still, Tennessee is wide open. Yep. Florida is wide open. So there's so much opportunity here to give back to the people that are in our backyards. And so what we look at, we're very, very focused. Every week I get emails from who we've hired and corporately, and it's every week. And it's always 2 to 3 people. So we're hiring every single week to IT department, customer service, upper level, systems developers, to run this future company. What we have coming is very state of the art. We are looking, and it's like, you think virtual reality kind of stuff, because we want to be at the forefront. Mark is thinking Amazon, Google, he's thinking Apple. He's thinking beyond network marketing. Now that's our business model. We're not thinking beyond that, but that kind of revenue. Mm-hmm. That's what we want, that kind of revenue. So it's big. And 16 years in this industry is still an infant. Yep. It is still a baby. And, when most companies don't make it past their 5th year, and the vast majority don't make it past their 10th. I mean, if you go back and look who was up and running 10 years ago, they're not here today. I mean, there was a company that was like the golden child, and they were rocking and rolling, and they started after us, and they're gone. I mean, it's like overnight. They just made a series of mistakes, and they're gone. And that is so hard to fathom. So we look around, we see that stuff, and we're like, that's not us. You know, we're going to double, we're going to triple. We're putting the infrastructure in, obviously, for new products, fabulous training. Just, we want really, really pouring into our training. Our biggest department that's growing right now is recognition. Just massive, like, we can't love on you enough kind. You're almost like, that's enough. I already feel like a princess, you know. So with the field development regionals who've been phenomenal, you're going to see that department grow. It's so, you know, it's just, when I look at it, when I go, it used to be out in front of my office, I could see clear all the way over to Cindy's. And now I just see butts, you know, behind cubicles, because we just keep adding and adding. Now we've got a soundproof booth in there for translations. Right. And so I'm like, what's that? And they go, a soundproof booth. I'm like, oh, I got to get in there when I need to scream and yell, and nobody can hear me. So, you know, just really cool stuff. If people could come and just be a fly on the wall. You know, Angus, who, you know, we've adopted as one of our kids, at least he thinks that, because he just keeps coming back and calling me mom and dad. But he went over, you know, he's from Latvia, and he went over to Latvia to see his mom and his sister and his new little niece. And on the way back, he stopped in Dublin and hung out with Kinsey. And he went into the Dublin office, and he was sitting in there and overheard a few things, and we've sworn him to silence. But he said, Mom, I had no idea. I said, you practically live with us, Angus. What? He goes, I just had no idea until I went there. I saw that office. I saw what was happening there. And I heard, you know, what you've got going globally. Of course, he's European, so that's very exciting for him. But that should be very exciting for all of us. So it's endless what we have planned. We won't look like this company except for the black, green, and bling in 5 years. It's just going to be phenomenal. You know, we hope to never change the grassroots. We hope to never change the family. We always want to have that. We want everyone to feel confident that they can go anywhere. You're not going to see the flashing. If that ever happened, that means it's over.
Yep.
You know, we've got to keep it real, and that's who we are. We're not suit and tie people. We're real people with real families, with big goals and big dreams and a big, big, big heart. And we love giving back. We want that whole department to be phenomenal, to be huge. We would have loved to have given back so much more to the hurricane victims. I mean, we look at that and we go, this could be a big, big platform for us. And so that department is really growing. We're adding people to that all the time. Conference will be off the charts. Now, it's going to be totally different. Wow. Totally. You're going to come and go, what happened? Mm-hmm. You're going to love every aspect of it, because we just got to stay fresh and we got to stay young. And that's what you all want. You're desiring that, and we're going to give it back to you. And, you know, again, we're all growing as leaders. All of us, Mark and I, read all the time. We attend leadership trainings when we feel like we need it. And you should be doing the same thing. You should be looking at opportunities to grow yourself and each other. And what I could say about all of you that are listening, just follow in Jeree and Chad's footsteps. They're great people. Just ask them. Say, look, I want to go here, but don't mess around with them, because they've got to go too. And they've got to, what we teach them is to value their time, value their knowledge, value their energy. And so they want to give back to those who really, really want to go to work. And I hope you heard something tonight that sparked something within you, that you'll get up and get out of whatever is holding you back and just go and go really big and quit playing small. Just, it's no fun playing small. Play really, really big. I mean, huge, just bigger than you ever thought big was. And it's still bigger than that. Bigger than that big. It's so big, I can't make, there's not a big enough word for the big. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, they loved you.
I hope your team has enjoyed it, and we got to do this again. So, hey, everybody, conference tickets are going to go on sale in October. So you just do not even think that you do not have the money. Go sell some wraps.
Yep.
You know, period. End of story. You got it. You buy whatever you want anyway. We all do. You might as well get a conference ticket and come see us and get to triple. Map it out. Get it done. It can happen very, very quickly. All right, everybody. Mwah. Good night.
Thank you, Pam, so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
Thanks for having me on. Bye.
Bye.